She's tall.
Oh, no, I meant that one standing up in front of us with the bun in her hair. Right there.
Oh, Molly
on the
McGrady.
screen. That's
Molly
Molly
McGrady.
Molly McGrady.
Molly McGrady.
Hey, does she have an accent like that?
No, John gives her one like that.
Oh, it's
Oh,
appropriate.
don't say that, man.
An accent.
I'm married.
Yeah, I know
you
that.
can give someone the accent without when you're married. It's something else you can't give them.
Molly McGrady.
All right, welcome to Crash Crucible 2024.
All these ladies I don't know contacting me.
No.
They all have a deeper voice than me. Don't worry, Miss Young. All the women who contact John have hair under their
I block
armpit.
them out for you. We play block for each other. It's all good.
Orange. All right. 2024 Crash Crucible. We are in the final event. Women's comp is up for grabs. Is that correct?
Yes. No, not really.
Oh.
Britney Weiss has a 26-point lead. Is that correct? 26? 23. Britney Weiss has a 23-point lead on Lydia Fish for first place, and then Lydia Fish has a...
Can we slide that up?
24-point lead on second place, or third place.
Here's what I think.
Trying to get the scoreboard up.
Bear with me here. This is what I think.
Baron.
Okay? You have Britney Weiss and Lydia Fish, who are going to be good at the rope climbs. But Katie Sanders is going to be better at the overhead squats and maybe better at the rope climbs. Thus making this a very close race between the top three.
Here we go. So, listen, Caitlin Sanders, I don't know her rope climb ability, but she would have to be, something would have to go wrong for Lydia or Britney for Caitlin Sanders to jump them. She can. It absolutely can happen. But something would have to go wrong for one of those two girls. Either they fail an overhead squat or can't get it up.
Fail a rope climb.
Or fail a rope climb. I know Rep might do it, but you also got to think about the heats before this, Sevon. And, like, a lot of these girls are struggling. Yeah, she murdered
With
it.
what? With what? With the rope climb or the overhead squat?
The legless rope climbs. And some on the overhead squats. But if a lot of these girls are struggling, the median score is not very high.
Can do the lanes.
So
okay. How about this, though? Let's talk about the weight of the overhead squat. For the women, it's 145 and 125 with the axle bar.
We're gonna get the lanes really quick. Okay, Sevon.
Oh, we're already there? We're starting?
Yeah, we're getting ready.
It's a fast turnover.
My goodness.
It's a really fast turnover.
Okay.
There we go. Lane 1, we have Elizabeth Wishart. Lane 2, we have Carolyn Prevost.
Okay.
Lane 3, Miss Lindsay Lane. And then we have empty on lane 4. Lane 5, Kyra Milligan. And then lane 6, Olivia Kerstetter.
Oh, what happened in lane 4? You got a pull out?
No, that's just the heat. The heats. That's what's
for Lazar.
No. Tyler.
Wow.
I'm going to pretend like I didn't hear a dang thing right there.
And then we're off. Okay, so legless rope climbs. Kyra Milligan and Elizabeth Wishart are out in front.
See, I think Elizabeth Wishart is going to do extremely well in this with all the firefighting she's got to do, all the pulling she's got to do.
Really good call, Bill.
So I think that's going to be this is going to be a good. Look how fast these are legless.
Yeah.
That's number 3 right there.
And she only had one left. Yeah, she blitzed the fire out of these.
Let's look at Olivia's kit. Where's Olivia?
She's all the way down here in lane number 6.
All right, Elizabeth Wishart is done now. She did 4 legless rope climbs in 36 seconds for Elizabeth Wishart. She's on to the overhead squat. She's in the running to kill the time to beat. Currently, it's 3:20 by Emma Harbang. What none of the women are done with their legless rope climbs. Whoa. We got L'Souza go to Elizabeth Wishart. She's on her overhead squats.
Already, wow.
Did she try to snatch that? Is that what happened? I think she tried to snatch that, and then she had major trouble, almost failed.
And that's one of the things that, like JR was talking about. How are you going to roll the dice on this? It's a fast event. It's 6-minute time cap. You can choose to snatch it, but if you drop it, that ends up being a 20-second stall in this event, and that's going to crush you.
Yeah, Kyra Milligan looks fantastic. Her movement is beautiful right now.
And that's a great shot right there, Susie, because you can see the leaders and also see Olivia trying to work on that rope.
I talked to Kiefer
Or
about
finishing the rope.
Kyra. She's
Olivia's
trying
on
to hit
the-
a home run on this. She really wants to get in that top 5 finish.
She's done. Okay, Olivia Kerstetter, Elizabeth Wishart, and Kyra
Ooh.
Milligan are done at the same time. We got to look across from Elizabeth Wishart. Olivia Kerstetter's working on her overhead squats.
So this
Elizabeth
is
right into that rope climb. Kyra took a little bit of a break.
Look how slow Wishart is going. They're tired already.
Well, I
they're
mean,
blitzing this.
She blasted those 4 legless rope climbs. That's going to take a lot out of you.
Hey, so
You
this
know,
is the second to last heat. There's only one more heat after this of the women.
Correct.
Yep.
Wow.
Olivia Kerstetter's starting on her thick rope climbs. Catching up a little bit with the
no.
other two.
That's crazy. She's making up a lot of time here.
Time cap 8 minutes. What's the fastest time we've had?
3:20, which I thought was going to go down after watching that legless rope climbs, but we're a minute away from that. We're at 2:30 right now. Elizabeth Wishart's got 2 rope climbs left.
Who got the 320? Do we know?
Emma Harving.
Yep.
That sounds fast, man.
And then Elizabeth.
She crushed every rope climb. Every overhead squat was unbroken. She did not have any problem getting the axle bar up or the other bar up.
Elizabeth is, struggling on her last rope climb. She just got done. We're at the 3-minute mark. 3-minute mark. So I don't. It's going to be on.
Ooh,
she's
her
got to grab
and
her.
Kyra together.
Kyra Milligan just finished. Has a much faster transition. She's going to go for the clean and jerk method. Elizabeth picked up the bar. Can't do it. Just
and that's
dropped
huge.
it.
Okay, so again, it's an axle bar, so it's a wide grip. So this is really going to tax the grip, and this is what JR wanted. A lot of grip work going into this, but Kyra's solid.
I can't
on
believe
that
she
overhead
just picked
squat.
it up and then dropped it.
I mean, Kerstetter making a move.
The time to beat just passed at 3:20. We're at 3:30 right now. Kyra's almost done.
3 reps left to go for Kyra.
Olivia is going to get second place in this heat.
Where's Fee?
Kyra's done, 3:44. Fee's in the next heat.
In the next heat.
These are 12 reps with the axle bar overhead squat at 125 pounds for the ladies. Kerstetter getting great
Olivia's
depth.
done, 3:59.
Man, talking about the last heat, it really makes me wonder how the smaller girls are going to be able to handle these bars. Kyra had to lock in to be able to handle these. So
You know, she did lock in. It was impressive how easily she got it up off the ground, though.
right.
Oh man, we
Look
got
at
a
Lindsay.
muscle
Wow.
woman clean.
Did Wishart have to take a break or is she done?
She's done.
She's
she
done
finished.
now.
She finished it around 4:18. 4:18.
Lindsay
she go
will be a
unbroken?
good.
Yeah, she went unbroken on the overhead squats. She had to
Had to wait for it a little
wait
bit.
like 30 seconds after
Yeah.
that initial drop. Lindsay's using the old unstrapped belt technique. We don't need that belt for
without
these.
depth. Without depth.
Got to rush, man. She's
No, she's
currently,
Dude,
down.
she looks
She's
great.
down.
She's great.
She's
yeah.
down.
Her depth
Seventh
is great
place.
right now.
Not great.
she needs all these seconds,
No,
man.
she's down.
Oh, we got a fail. We got a no rep.
That's not
You
what you
got to
want.
do that. You got to do that going into this
Did she do
last
the
event,
pump there
though.
carry to get
Yeah,
that
she
bar
did.
up?
Yeah, she did. She was a strongman clean. And Carolyn Prevost in the back right now. I guess the leg was blew Carolyn up because she looks blown right now with her grip.
Yeah.
And these rope climbs don't look great. They don't look the most efficient.
No, she's just kind of getting through them.
And I'm kind of surprised if it's her grip that give, because she's deadlift queen.
Carolyn
I know.
is currently sitting in 9th place. How far does she fall due to this?
Watch the grip
the-
with Lindsay.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
that
man.
continental carry.
Carolyn
Oh, wow.
trying to do the same thing.
There we go.
And that's
Lindsay.
just because that bar's a little wider. And if you have smaller
Nice.
hands, you just try to
One
get
rep
that
left.
up that way.
Done. Lindsay's done.
41.
At 5:41. Carolyn Prevost looks solid when she gets these into position.
Oh, she finally got one to depth. And 2 to depth.
Oh, she's down.
This is a different
to death.
person, Sevon.
She's
Oh,
down.
I know. But that was the first 3 weren't to depth.
God, Carolyn's got crazy long
That
arms.
one wasn't to depth.
Done.
why she's good at deadlifts.
6:02. What?
That's why she's good at deadlifts.
Yeah.
Bryson
The
Del
long
Monte,
arms.
just because her hamstring is touching her calf doesn't mean it's a squat. She needs to sit into her heels and get her hip crease below. She needs to
Bryson,
open
how do
her-
you deadlift the bar without bouncing the freaking crap out of it? If you're going to
She-
comment, make sure your athlete actually looks okay when he deadlifts.
She needs to
I'm just
open her
kidding,
legs.
Taylor. I think you did amazing, Taylor.
You got to get those legs open so you can get that depth. I might move to the U.S. just to get to join JR's gym. It looks incredible. It's incredible.
Amazing. It's amazing. They got video games and everything here. It's impressive.
By the way, the camera angle that you guys are seeing and what we are seeing is different. Like Bill can speak.
100%.
Bill will agree with me. It's not just me saying it. They were 100. All of Lindsay's squats were 100% good. And then on camera, I looked over here, and it does look borderline on camera. It's not. You guys are looking at a different angle. I promise you.
That's John Young for we know more than you.
That's better than saying.
Do you think her squats were bad?
No.
That's better than saying Sevon can't see. He's old and blind.
Well, no, you can't see from that angle. That's all. I mean, I got you.
No, their reps were good. You're right, John.
Even on the camera, they were below parallel. No, even on the camera, they were not below parallel.
Yes, Patrick. I'm looking at their squats. Guys, I am looking at them, and they are good. Bill, do you think every one of those squats were good?
Every single one of them
Tyler,
looked good.
do you think every one of those squats were good?
I got to be honest, I wasn't watching.
All right, it's not just me. Clearly, all three of us would agree that every squat was good. Y'all are on the camera. I promise you. It's not like I wouldn't call out bad reps. We've been calling them out the whole time.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're a bad guy.
Oh man,
I'm not saying you're a liar.
It's not a character judgment.
Yeah.
I want to see some moving and some shaking in this event with these ladies right on the floor now.
It's wide
so
open.
Tight. It's so tight.
It would be amazing if something bad did happen. I'm not going to root for any one in particular person.
I got you. I hear you.
But if something bad did happen, it would be amazing to see the result of it.
There will be an upset on the leaderboard like no other.
Britney Weiss in first place, Lydia Fish in second, Caitlin Sanders in third, Carolyn Stanley in fourth, Fee Sagafi in fifth, and Chevry in sixth. From left to right.
All right, Hillary, Sousa's going over to the lane one, and we're going to get them very, very soon. All right, there we go. Lane one, we got Fee Sagafi. This is my pick to win the event, Phil.
Okay.
Phil.
She looked great overhead.
Lane two,
warm up.
Caitlin Sanders.
You got to win it.
Lane 3, Britney Weiss, your current leader. Lane 4, Lydia Fish. And lane 5, Carolyn Stanley. And then lane 6, Janie Shepard. I'm sorry, that one's covered up by our monitor.
Chevry attacking.
Britney Weiss attacking.
Yeah, Britney Weiss. What's new?
Right. Well, this is what we've heard. Rope climbs, and she's good overhead. Her two best lifts are deadlifts and going overhead. So her and Britney and Fee both tied on the rope climb, with Britney having just an edge.
Big kick from Lydia. Stanley strong. Stanley in the right screen.
A couple notes here. Lydia needs to be about 1 minute and 7 seconds ahead right now of Britney to be able to win.
Fee, first one to jump up for the legless rope climb. Got it. Last one done. Britney got it. Last one done. And Fee Sagafi is the one you want to look for. She is the one who can possibly podium that is outside looking in right now. Tyler, can you tell us how much she would have to finish ahead of Caitlin Sanders to podium Fee Sagafi?
Calculating.
While Tyler is working on that, we're going to all the rest of the women are still working on their rope climbs except Fee Sagafi and Britney Weiss.
Carolyn needs to be about 47 seconds ahead of Caitlin Sanders to be able to close the gap.
Fee Sagafi.
Jared Sheets, Katie Sanders about to show these ladies what it means to be forklift certified.
Fee Sagafi, the first one done with her overhead squats onto the thick rope. No hesitation. Britney Weiss just finished her overhead squats. Most of the girls, Caitlin Stanley is still on her rope climbs.
Wow.
Still on her rope climbs.
She was battling with that.
Fee needs to be about 1.5 minutes of Caitlin Sanders.
All right, 1.5 minutes, which I think is doable. I think
with what we see right now.
Yeah.
He's showing fatigue. Kevin Doyle, great final day coverage, gang. Thank you.
All right, Caitlin Sanders is still overhead squatting. She looks good on her overhead squat. She got 5 left.
She has a great squat. She's really powerful.
And
better than I think she thinks she is.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like, look.
Oh, we had a break. She just broke her overhead squat.
No, she dropped it. Like failed it. Failed it. Is what it was.
Yeah.
Sagafi done with the rope climbs.
All right, listen. No, she got one more left. She has one more left.
Actually, they both do.
The race is between Caitlin and Fee right now because Fee needs to beat her by 90 seconds. 90 seconds.
Yeah.
And she's done with the rope climbs before Caitlin even gets there. That 100% can happen.
Ooh, that was a really long pause by Britney on the rope for that last
All right, if you're
touch.
Fee, you got to make sure you're ready for this. You got to make sure you're ready for this.
Ooh, we got a little continental carry on that. She looks solid.
Can Fee go unbroken? Hey, can we get Sanders in the background? Susan, can you get Fee in the foreground and Caitlin in the background? Can you get both in the shot?
Look at the positioning with Fee. Her arms are so close. That's even though she's got that shoulder injury.
Great.
She looks fantastic.
Those squats would even pass Sevon's
There we
eye.
go. Yeah, those are great even with my eye. You're correct. Those are great. That's great depth. Great depth, Fee.
She's got to hold on to have a shot. Caitlin Sanders is on the rope. Done.
Oh, that's
3:30.
Just above the time. 10 seconds over the time.
3:30 for Fee. This means the time to beat right now for Caitlin Sanders is 5 minutes.
Weiss not getting depth.
Fee needs to be 2 minutes and 39 seconds in front of Lydia to be able to finish second. She may have won a second place finish here.
What does she have to be ahead of Lydia?
2 minutes and 39 seconds ahead of Lydia.
A little bit harder, but
Weiss goes unbroken.
239.
Dude, she's still got to do these.
239 or
239. She's still got to do these overhead squats. And
Britney Weiss is done. 4:05.
All right.
Man, I would have loved to have seen Harvang do this in 3:20.
So she's got 40. She's got 40 seconds to do this rope climb and finish her overhead squats before Fee passes her. Caitlin Sanders.
And where is Sanders?
All right. She's got 30 seconds. Get on Caitlin right now.
No chance.
She has 30 seconds. She has to do it in 30 seconds, or Fee Sagafi is going to be third place.
Dude, it's evaporating.
All right, she has to go 20 seconds. 20 seconds.
That's a long
Lydia's going all out right here. Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness. Janie Chevry's getting the bar up. She looks the best out of the overhead squat.
Oh, my goodness.
Lydia can't
Sanders
get the
lowers
bar up.
What did Fee finish in?
3:30.
Yeah, dude.
Carolyn Stanley drops the bar.
Carolyn Stanley drops the bar.
Janie Chevry is going to be the one that finishes up through. Keep that bottom box open.
Sanders
Lydia's got the bar up.
Sanders is going to war.
One.
Four
Dude,
reps
this is hard
for Janie.
Lydia can't
Right
do
there.
it.
Hold that,
Dude, Lydia
hold that.
can't do it.
Nope.
Not
Sanders
only
can't
is
do it.
Fee going to pass Caitlin, she's going to
hold
pass
it up there.
Lydia
Carnage.
Fish warring.
Carolyn Stanley is doing what she has to do. Carolyn Stanley might be the one that gets in third place here.
Those reps are a little soft.
All right, Carolyn Stanley's riding the line on depth, guys. I don't know. If you want to talk about somebody's depth.
Not Lydia, though.
Lydia Fish looks
Lydia's
great.
down. Ooh.
She's got 4 left. She's got to go. She has 14 seconds. Lydia's got 14 seconds to maintain second.
She's got 3 reps, 2 reps, 1 rep.
She has to.
took it.
Oh, man.
Oh,
6:09. She has 6:09.
Oh,
man.
Man, this is going to go down to the freaking wire here.
Time cap.
Yeah, time cap. So
right.
I'll let you know.
So,
Man.
back at the napkin math.
Should take that one to the head when it came down.
Close.
I didn't see it.
Ooh.
Back in the napkin math, I think Fee Sagafi just got second place at Crash Crucible with that score.
Wow.
Britney Weiss won pretty comfortably, actually, and then Fee Sagafi, I think, just got second place. It's very tight between her and Lydia.
My, oh my, oh my.
What happened? What are they done? What's Lydia doing?
The time cap is 6 minutes.
Yeah,
oh my
she's
goodness.
They're asking if the barbell hit her head on the way down in that last one.
I think it did when it came down.
Can we?
Just kinda popped
Anybody
on
that's
top.
got it? Can we rewind?
Yeah. She went all
Lydia
out,
looked
man.
very emotional.
Do you want to call Fee Sagafi over here?
She's just upset.
Or Britney Weiss? I guess both of them. Do you want to call?
I'm going for the.
I guess we could do the guys because we got some time with the guys, huh?
Dude,
I'll get you a replay on this. Here we go.
This is a key thing about sports, man. I know Lydia said she just wanted to do well, and here she is
15
distraught.
seconds. Lydia's got.
Lydia Fish, we just saw her. This is right where it happens.
Right after this. Oh, I
If they
didn't know
got her, it clipped her in the front.
I thought it clipped her right in the front. Yeah, couldn't tell. Man, dude, she was an absolute warrior all weekend, though.
Hey, come on.
My goodness.
Come on over here,
Come
girl.
on over.
So,
Oh, you got one. Okay.
you got us, Fee?
I got it.
All right, so we think it's back. It's not official right now, but we think you got second place with that. We think you jumped everybody up into second place with that event
time.
finish. Yeah.
Man, I heard a 3:20 time.
Yeah.
That's what I was hearing. Strong girl Emma.
Yeah,
She's
demolished
murdered it.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch her go. I wanted to. That's why I was like, where could I make up the time? And I was like hustling so bad.
Okay, so
My
What was
grip
Fee's
going.
time? What was Fee's time?
3:30.
3:30. So
Okay.
where were you trying to like ride the line, and where were you pushing? Which one of the elements were you doing that?
So I was really trying to ride like what my grip could handle. So, I mean, a lot of girls got small hands. I can't make that excuse, but grip is a limiter for me. You guys know that. Watch me on Toe Savara, and I'll let you know that grip's the limiter. Grip's the limiter for me. So I was really trying to just ride that line on like how much can I take and still keep moving on the ropes. And honestly, I thought the axle bar was just about the hardest thing
Yeah.
in the entire workout, just gripping it and knowing that like it's coming and it's not going to feel good. So that's what I was trying to do. Legless rope climbs to start were pretty fast, and I was just trying to push the pace with Brit. She was on my tail. She's got a couple inches on me, and I was like, I need to keep pulling.
Were you girls surprised at how hard the axle bar was at the end of it? We're seeing so many people have trouble, and that surprised us. We didn't think people would have that much trouble with it.
When I cleaned it, I actually reverse cleaned it, right? And then like I tried to switch my hand and my hand got caught, so I fiddled around to like get my hand around a little bit. But honestly, lifting that thing felt heavier than lifting the 145.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
For me in
interesting.
practice, this was one of the few events that I actually did the whole thing, and I did my first clean, and like I had that moment in training. I was like, okay, expect this.
Yeah.
Just know it's gonna happen or it could happen. So yeah. it's
How important were the first 4 legless rope climbs? I mean, you guys were flying compared to the rest of the field, and I think generally when you have any of the women doing a legless rope climb event, that's the part where like, all right, let me just bring it on down a little bit because we got a lot more to do. You guys didn't seem to have that. Was that the plan, where it's like, okay, here's where I'm making my jump on everyone, or what were you guys thinking?
That was my plan. I actually tested in practice like 2 minutes of max legless rope climbs the other week, and I got 10. And I was like, okay, I think I can push 4 here and like give myself a little bit of time on the squats because I'm not a squatter and I'm also very tall.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I saw Fee in the corner of my eye. I was like, okay, she's jumping up, so you can jump up.
yeah.
We figured that there'd be a lot of grip.
So much grip. But it was kind of one of those where if you do have good grip or like just strong legless, you could use the overhead squats to kind of just like lock it in, settle in, and feel good. It's not too much to like blow up your grip as well. So I was kind of like push the legless, recover, then push the ropes, and then just bring it home.
Right. Now, both you guys were a lot slower on the regular rope climbs, the thicker rope climbs, versus what you did on the other one. Was that a grip thing, or were you trying to conserve yourself before you got into the axle bar?
I think they were on their way to blowing up, Bill.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
there was a lot. I mean, you guys were riding the line. It got a lot. So, in fact, I think on your last one, you got up there and you sat there before you did that last reach.
I have a pretty strong grip, but that thing's a different story. I mean, it's just really thick, and like us ladies, I feel like have small hands.
So I have the Dallin Pepper here as one of my second coaches this weekend, and he gave me a true veteran secret that I can't share. But I use that secret on my rope climbs. If you guys want to look back.
I think it's on the video somewhere, not on this video, but like from the day before. So I think he may have said
So
something.
if you want
about
to
that.
climb a thick rope, then just go back and watch Fee's video.
There you go.
And then
Do it just like that.
Yes, once everyone finds out, they can manage their grip a little bit better.
Seven,
When you
go
guys
in.
are when you guys are overhead squatting the axle bar, does it become almost like you're not even holding on to it and you're just balancing it on there and just like, wow, this is like walking a tightrope?
Yeah, I feel like it kind of just rolls back into my hands, and it's honestly easier to overhead squat that I feel like the overhead squat, the axle bar, than it is the regular bar, just because you have like your full hand around it.
It's just
I don't know how you feel about it. It's just getting it up there.
I felt more locked in.
Comfortably.
Like, if you get that first good rep, it's one thing if you clean it and like the first rep's a little shaky, and then that axle is probably because you're probably not hook gripping that thing. So once you get it locked in, and I have a pretty narrow grip. I don't know where your grip is at, but depending on where your grip is at, if you have a narrow overhead, you're just about as locked as you could get. So honestly, it felt good. I was excited squatting that bar.
Once we got it up there, it was like, okay.
Brittany,
Go ahead, John.
before you started the competition, did you think you could win the competition?
I did.
Whoa. Perfect.
I knew, like, honestly, as good as like people expected me to do in like that ring muscle up and handstand walk workout, the dumbbell's heavy for me, so I knew that was a damage control workout for me. And then, as far as like the handstand walk GHD, I've had like back issues in the past, so I don't really do like a whole lot of volume on GHD. Yeah, I just focused on holding my own as best as I could on those two, and I knew like once I got through day one, I was like, okay, now these next 5 events really, they matter.
Fee is bouncing up and down through the leaderboard all the way.
Bye.
What were your expectations throughout the weekend? I mean, obviously you guys are competitors. You want to come in, you want to win.
Yeah.
What were you thinking as you were ping-ponging your way through that to end up on that, up in the top 3?
Yeah, I saw that when I saw the events come out, like I knew I was gonna struggle a lot with the strict handstand push-ups and like the pressing and honestly, I haven't done ring muscle ups or strict handstand push-ups since like before semis, because I feel like everyone deals with their own thing coming in, like no one's really healthy, and that was kind of just my thing that I've just been managing. But I was at a point where I could be healthy to compete, so I was just, let's just use it as a check-in, and if you get punched in the face a couple times, you get punched in the face, and I feel like I was just getting punched every other event, and I was just trying to take the hits and had a couple conversations with John just to see how efficient could I be. And yeah, I had some failed execution moments, and the events that I knew I could do very well in, I did, and the events that I knew I was going to struggle in, I struggled, and that was just kind of the reality of the season, or this weekend.
Brittany, are you, when you look forward into the season, you look towards the Open, is the game something that we'll see you be making an individual attempt at this year?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I've had so many people ask me to go team again, but I just like feel like I checked that team box. Like it's just like I won on Team Invictus, and that was like the goal. And now that I checked that, it's kind of like I need a new goal, and individual has always been a dream of mine. I mean, I competed as an individual before I went team. I was around on the regional days, so I was on the floor as an individual in regionals in 2015 and 2016, then went over to team, and now I think my time is calling to go back on the floor individually.
I like it.
Do you think this gives you confidence heading into it? Because, I mean, you beat 5, 6 games athletes that have been to the games.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it gives me confidence. I look up to these people. Like, I have been in this sport for so long. I look up to people that are younger than me. Like, for example, like Olivia Kerstetter, she's freaking amazing. Like, I just look up to everybody, and if I can learn from everyone on the way, like, that's what makes this sport so fun.
Where does this event stand in your preseason? Like, where the way JR programs, the athletes that are here, the time of the season that it's in, where does this stand in your training or what you have going on as you kind of make your way towards the CrossFit season?
Yeah.
Like importance?
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't important. This is an important weekend for me just because I had plans after semis to continue to compete. I was pretty locked into NorCal, and if it wasn't NorCal, it was going to be road qualifiers, and things just didn't work out. I wasn't as healthy as I needed to be to compete safe. And so this was kind of that first weekend of I've just been doing the work, and let's just check in. And for someone like me, I need those check-ins every couple months. I need to kind of, get kicked in the butt a little bit. I need to have some personal wins to just give me that confidence along the way. The season's super long, and for me, I felt like I didn't get an end or a cap to my season. And mentally, I needed something to just fire me up again.
I like it.
For me, it's all about gaining experience. I mean, it's been a while since I've been on the floor individually, and honestly, before this competition, I was really trying to peak for Rogue, and it was such a bummer. Like, I was so close to qualifying, yet so far. So when I did the qualifiers here, and this was like a couple weeks after the Rogue qualifiers, I was like, well, I might as well use my fitness for something. So came out here and just did the thing. Gained experience, learned a lot. I'm excited to put it going forward.
Did the thing.
Did the thing.
Won the thing.
Sevon, you got any?
Congratulations, Fee. What I take away from watching you here is that you are a true competitor. Your veteran status showed. You know from going to the games that you're never out. You came in, you kicked ass in the final event, and you got right where everyone expected you to be, right in the mix with the best in the world. Congratulations. I haven't seen you compete a lot, Miss Weiss, but man, you are spectacular.
You're about to, Sevon.
Ray of sunshine.
More to come.
I am a little curious though. At some point, do you have to change your view? I understand looking up to them. I understand being humble, but at some point, do you have to be like, yeah, ladies, I'm here to bring it to you?
Well, I mean, you have to have confidence going into every event, and I think like I found my confidence each event. Like, it was like I kept texting Yami after each event. I was like, okay, the first one's out of the way. Now I'm like ready. And then the second one would come, and I'd be like, okay, I'm finding my groove. And then the third one would come, and I was like, okay, I'm in this thing. Like, I think it's just like I just need to be out there more, and I need to experience it more. And yeah, I feel like you always have to look up to somebody. Like, you know, I don't know. I look up to Fee.
I look up to Brit on her running. I see her post her running training, and I'm just like, be like Brit. No, that's awesome. Yeah, it's great.
Well,
weekend.
thank you so much. The fans love you. Big crowd watching today. True fan favorite. Thanks for putting it on a show for us.
Yeah, thank you, girls.
Guys.
Congratulations.
You guys did awesome.
Thank you.
You guys did awesome.
Some of the fittest women in the world. What a treat.
Thanks, Pete.
Great Sunday show. We will have a final scoreboard for you very shortly. Patrick Clark, good to see you, buddy. Great job, Britt. Games champ, NorCal champ, now Crash champ, next Dubai champ. Showing team athletes just need time to develop. Good words from Patrick Clark. Thank you. How close are we to a...
we have a leaderboard. Tyler, is it updated? Yeah. Okay, so Britney Weiss wins with 543 points. You want to go? All right, Britney Weiss wins with 543 points. 63 points back is Fee Sagafi. Lydia Fish is third place.
Wow.
There we go. They're updated.
So good on
Kyra
Lydia.
Milligan making a run.
Man, she was up and down the leaderboard all weekend, too.
Well, I mean, she was mostly down. I feel like she only came up on this last day. Caitlin Sanders, Tyler, can you tell us what Caitlin got in that last event? Oh, he can't hear me. You should put your... Can you tell us what Caitlin Sanders got in that last event?
Caitlin Sanders, in place or time?
Time, please. Or peaceful.
Caitlin
19.
She got 37.39 points with a 549 score.
37.3 points. That was the change for her to go from third to fifth. 19th place out of 27. Oh, we did. She won.
Brittany
and
won.
She's second. You're second.
Fee got second.
Yeah, I said that she was second when she got on the stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I said, girl.
That's what I was talking about.
Are we getting in trouble?
Lead off with, hey, I think you got second.
Hey, are we getting in trouble because we were supposed to wait till the announcement?
No, overall, girl.
I don't know.
I was like, man,
Lydia's
she's not
here.
very excited for that. I thought she'd be more excited
we're
about it.
passing info over to JR to make sure that...
JR's going to go get Lydia if possible.
Britney Weiss first, Fee Sagafi second, Lydia Fish third, Kyra Milligan fourth, Katie Sanders fifth, Olivia Kerstetter sixth, Wishart seventh, Carolyn Stanley eighth, Lindsay Lane ninth, Chevry 10th, Prevo 11th. No real big surprises, I guess. When it all comes down, when all the workouts have been.
You mean when you look at the overall leaderboard?
I would say there were surprises.
I mean,
Carolyn Prevo in 11th?
Yeah, Carolyn
Okay.
Prevo. Kyra Milligan was never inside the top 5 after the first day.
Not until today.
Right.
But I mean, that's what I mean. When we get to the final day,
The leaderboard looks right.
Yeah, the leaderboard looks like. I understand Prevo. Okay, Prevo. It's not that. It's just interesting that Chevry, Lane, and maybe not so much Wishart, but Sanders beat her.
Yeah, get that.
Right. Yeah, Sanders is I think she's the big outlier nobody really guessed. I think this was a big win for Lindsay Lane to be inside the top 10 this year, so she was the winner last year.
Right.
And then I don't think she was very happy after quarterfinals. Like, I think she got really embarrassed by working out with Fee, and Fee really kind of destroying her in quarterfinals. She comes here and she holds her own with a complete crew of pro athletes.
Right. A stack field of that.
The Kyra Milligan one, did we talk about that?
Yeah, Kyra.
She would have been second in CrossFit.
Oh, yeah.
That's wild.
Right.
What do you mean? I wasn't able to follow that. What do you mean second in CrossFit?
He's comparing my rankings to if we scored it with CrossFit rankings. Britney Weiss would be in first. Fee would actually be in third. Lydia Fish would actually be in fourth. Kyra Milligan would be in second.
Wow. Okay.
That's probably the most pronounced one, huh?
Right.
That means something.
Yep.
Milligan had a second.
Olivia would have been fourth, but
Milligan had a second, a 22nd, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh, a 12th, and a third. Pretty consistent except for workout number 2.
Right. It especially with the top end girls, Britney Weiss had a bad first event, and Fee Sagafi had a bad second event. It seems like those first 2 events really threw people for a loop. I don't know if it was first day jitters, but they seemed to climb out of it.
Let me also point this out. In the top 5 finishers, only one girl has a first place finish, and she has 2 of them, Britney Weiss.
Right.
Fee, Lydia, Kyra, and Katie Sanders, none of them ever finished in first, where Britney Weiss finished twice in first.
Yeah. No, I mean, the women's field was ridiculous as far as trying to predict what was going to happen. It was a roller coaster for really everybody, for us, for them, for their coaches, the whole entire time. For every event was just a big, kept switching up, which I think is exactly what JR wanted to happen.
That was his plan. He needed separation, and then when you layer the P score over that the events that showcase separation like that, you're going to have really volatile leaderboard.
P score with just ability events.
Let me also point this out too. I know it's only 7 workouts and it's not 13 workouts like the CrossFit Games, but the lowest first place finisher was Carolyn Stanley. She finished 8th overall, and she had a first place finish. And I think what you can analyze from that is that all the workouts were pretty balanced. There were no, like, if we would have had a heavy lift, we may have had someone all the way down here in the bottom 5 with a first place finish. Or if we would have had just an endurance event, we may have had someone just down here.
Look at Carolyn Stanley's finishes overall. So she had 2 of those very high placing first.
Yeah, but look, she got
the 20th, and then she's got the 19th, or the 13th and the 18th. So I mean, like, what I saw on this is that with that P scoring especially, you have those. I mean, you have big swings, and so I mean, you still want to have someone like Britney Weiss that has a lot of wins up at the top. You can kind of deal with your low scoring, but I mean, look at for Britney Weiss, 17th, 8th, 1st, 11th, 3rd, 1st, 5th.
Yeah, what it looks like to me is that every single person that's on the leaderboard had one really bad event.
Right.
And Britney Weiss had the least bad event of all those bad events.
Right.
Like, as when you say you'd have a bottom 5 person if you had a max lift, they were almost bottom 5. There's 27 people. Britney Weiss was a 17. And then you have a 19 for Fee. You have a 22nd for Lydia. Kyra, you got a 22nd. Caitlin Sanders, 19th. The low, not last event, 19th. Olivia Kerstetter, 19th, 21st.
Yeah. You have to go to Wishart before you see someone who tied her.
Even then, it's a 17 and a 16. Like, every single person had a huge switch. And Britney Weiss's bad event was the very first one.
Yep.
And it was the least bad out of all other people that had everybody that had a bad event.
Yeah.
Which makes me want to go back to maybe this really is the proving ground, because each workout is so balanced, as opposed to other comps really do have outlier events.
Well, here's the thing, though. Last year, the programming was outlier events. That's what he focused on. Every event was exposing some sort of weakness, outlier stuff. He leaned into that. This year, he took the opposite stance, which is I'm going to do more balanced programming, just showing the unbalanced part. I want you to show that you have capacity across this balance. And so, I mean, like, it goes both ways. It just speaks to how good of a programmer JR is.
Jaredella's programming was amazing. The final event shakeup was insane. Such a good way to close out.
See, I feel like he leaned into outlier, but tried to make it balanced with the outlier.
Were you talking about like with the gymnastic specialty?
I mean,
high
like,
skill?
okay, so like the deficit handstand push-up, that's an outlier event. Yeah?
Okay.
You balance it with the sled, it pumps up your legs. It's not just shoulders.
See, I just don't think so.
The bike erg event. Let me get on. Go
ahead.
The bike erg event. That's a power output event.
Right.
But you balance it with this drag rope skill you have to have. If you don't have that drag rope skill, it does not matter how much power you have. Colton Mertens ran away with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't matter how much power. The big guys, a lot of them couldn't do the drag rope. And then you do a legless rope climb event. That's an outlier event. People who are really good with legless rope climbs, like, it's a huge thing that there's a differentiation in athletes. It's outbalanced by the overhead squats being so difficult with the funky axle rope that we don't know how it's going to happen. Like, I think he takes this year. I think he leaned into really hard things to do, ability things, but he made it. Every single event had something that was wildly different from that ability thing.
He said from the beginning he is upset at the fact that there aren't more gymnastic dense events that the athletes are being tested on. The handstand walk was one of the ones with 400 feet of handstand walking when the majority of handstand walking that athletes do at any sort of speed
is 200 to 300.
200. So I think that what he did is he leaned into the things that these high-level athletes aren't seeing at even a semifinal event.
Yeah.
And that's why I said in the beginning that there's a lot of similarity to the game stuff, because the game stuff is going to have the tweaks. It's going to have here's the normal, and we're going to push you over to this.
It's going to have the can you do this?
Can you do this? And if you can't, you're going to get buried. And then like I said, you layer that with the P-score on top of that, and then you get the separation of scores, and that's what made it so fun to watch. I don't know if the athletes really like that all that much, because you got to know there's a lot to try to play with. There's going to be
one thing you don't have. Like, very rare do people have everything.
And you can't
right?
just...
And Colton, who's the outlier of outliers, that's why he's the freaking GOAT of Crash.
Yeah.
Because everything JR can throw at him, he's going to be great at. Honestly, this is going to be his worst event.
I want to give a little, there's a little chatter here in the comments. And also, Wise and Stefan grilling PFAA supporters, place and time, I suppose. Unlike me, these guys are pros. People brave enough to demand people being fired also need to be tough enough to hear people who disagree, pretending there's not a huge divide. There was a couple others here. Listen, guys. I take more criticism for this podcast and what we say than anyone else in the fucking space. Go over to Reddit and you can see fucking all the worst shit people say about me. People fucking go off on all of us who are in this group. Bill Grundler has been the target of some crazy politics. John Young had his fucking a strong woman debacle, and none of that matters. That's not how we pick our friends. I could be best friends with fucking Brent and Pat. I don't give a shit about their PFA stuff. The thing is this, and I'll say it a fucking million times to you. If you demand that one of my fucking best friends and one of the greatest people I know, Dave Castro, if you ask him to be fired, then I'm going to use my platform to fucking also punch you in the fucking throat. It doesn't mean I don't like you. I've had friends who borrowed $4,000 from me and not pay me back. It doesn't affect our friendship at all. It just means I don't lend you another $4,000. I'm not that fucking person. You guys who are just like everything is black and white, that's not me. I can talk hellacious shit to people and still be fucking great friends with you.
Okay. Where did this come from? I feel like I took my headphones off and came into.
No, he was just answering some
chatter's
chat.
like people are wondering why I'm like this isn't and it also isn't the time and place. P. Sagafi, I love P. She's great. She's been a great contributor to the Stefan podcast. I would have her on whenever. She signed that letter. wanting Dave Castro to be fired, and people are like, hey, why don't you call her out on it here? Hey, man, she's competing. I respect her that she's competing here. I like her. She put on a great show. I'm appreciative of it. Maybe there will be a time and place for it, but it doesn't make me. I don't dislike her. But around that subject of asking Dave to be fired, man, I think it's a fucking rotten fucking move, and I'll say it. The men will be next. Hopefully the Ibarra and Taylor Self feud continues.
Hey, it's 3-3. I think Taylor has a big enough gap. He's got it's a 60-point gap from second to third. So Taylor, I think, has second place locked up. I think Chris has third place locked up. 1 through 3, that's what's going to happen podium-wise. But I feel like this is a personal rivalry between them two. I don't know if you feel that. I feel like it evolved out of nothing, which is pretty freaking awesome. And if you want to add it up, it's 3-3. Chris has 3 workouts versus Taylor has 3 workouts.
Cole Mertens has 4 wins.
Well, we don't, Colton, honestly, we should be upset about Colton even being here. He's above this competition, okay?
Ban him. Listen, I am not feeling secure about Taylor after watching what Fee did.
Taylor's a great overhead squatter.
We talked about positioning all the time with him. He's going to be fantastic overhead.
He's fantastic at rope climbs, legless rope climbs. I think Taylor's going to be really good at this event. If there was an event that Taylor, I did not think he could beat Colton at the dumbbell standard.
Right.
But if there was an event that I think Taylor could win, it would be this event.
Tyler, are you there?
He is not.
Okay, I wonder what the biggest swing in points was in that final event, anywhere on the leaderboard.
I will see if I can decipher that.
You're gonna touch a number and mess up all the numbers.
So do you think that that podium spot is where we should watch for the most tension between Ibarra and Max Krieg?
You know what? I don't know if there. I don't think there will be tension between those guys.
I don't mean tension like personally. I just mean as a fan in the race. Can Krieg catch Ibarra?
Can Krieg? Yeah, he can. I mean, it depends. I think Ibarra would have to do really bad.
And everything I just said about Taylor, the same thing with Chris. Chris is an extremely good rope climber. It's one of his best things.
So I think it'll be a fun race. Max is really going to have to attack, and I just don't know if Chris is going to fail enough for that.
Dallin Pepper, the second fittest man in the world. The question that everyone's wanted to know but been afraid to fucking ask you. In between your ears, you know you are fitter than James Sprague, and yet he holds the fucking world title.
He does.
Is that a tough pill for you to swallow? I know you took second. I know it's great, but man, I know you know that.
Everyone's saying whatever they want to say, but James has never beat me in a competition. And he chose this one to make it the first. But if he didn't do what he did on that final, maybe I'd give him a little more shit. But he's never beaten me in a thruster bar muscle up workout in our entire lives. I've known him for 7 years, and he came out and just he stomped on my throat. Stomped on everyone's throat. And so there's nothing I can really say until I go beat him at Rogue.
Yeah, absolutely incredible, right?
Yeah, it was, if I wasn't the guy, if it wasn't at my expense, I'd be stoked for him. But.
Yeah, and how about Matt Torres? He must be ecstatic.
Oh yeah, it was huge for Matt. We had a huge year last year where we had 5 athletes under Matt, and then this year to go 1 and 2. We're just going to keep building. Brute down in, wherever we are, Florida. James is over in Idaho or wherever he is. But, yeah, it's been awesome.
The other day I got a chance to speak with you and Jason briefly on the phone, and when I called, you guys had been doing some training. How is that going?
Training's been great. It's been fun to be up here, get to experience JR's barn a little bit. That thing has a little bit of everything, which is really cool. And just hang out with a lot of good people around here. And it's kind of like a mental break from the grind and monotonous of being home, but we'll go back in 3 more weeks before we head out to Rogue and just keep it locked in.
Who decides the workouts, you or Hopper?
We've just been doing our own thing, but just in the gym together. So
Who's a scarier competitor, Hopper or Sprague?
Ooh, that's a
tough question because everyone seems to not take James seriously based on his personality, and then he comes out and does things like that. And so you can't overlook James, but from the outside, you're going to say Jason. But the way James fools people can be kind of scary as a competitor. If you don't know him well. Like, I've known him long enough to know that. But
Can Colton Mertens win this one too?
I mean, I'm not going to put anything past him at this point. I think it'll be harder because, I mean, based on experience with the quarterfinals workout we did here earlier this season and understanding how grippy this workout is going to be, I would probably pick someone like Taylor to do well on this, but then it comes into the squatting, and Colton has a huge advantage there. So really, I'm not an analyst, so I don't have a good answer at all.
As this year's looking to CrossFit Games season to start, it looks like there's going to be, if the rumors are correct, there's going to be an open, and then a quarterfinals, and then the games. That it's going to be online. Would you be open to doing the open live and the quarterfinals live at Crash, similar to you did last year against Hopper, Colton, and Taylor?
Yeah, if we're doing a bunch of online stuff, I'd rather have some fun, get around the boys, and put on a show for everybody. So.
And if we had to invite a fifth, would you be opposed to inviting James Sprague?
I mean, he's the champ. How can you not invite him?
Right. Good point.
He won't show up.
He won't show up. Yeah, James, you won't show up. You're scared.
He was scared of Colton doing Crash Crucible.
That's right.
Now, why doesn't James show up? I know. Just speculating, of course. He's not here to answer for himself. But is it? Hey, he's proved his point, and now he's got to focus on defending his title.
I think he's just focused on Rogue, getting back there, and showing people that he's here to stay, hang out, and be with the big dogs.
His body does look like every year he's putting on a couple more pounds of muscle. Someone showed me something he did the other day, putting 330 or something over his head a few times.
For 3.
Yeah, he's been getting real strong, and that's been like the only thing that's holding him back. So he's he's way fitter than everyone gives him credit for.
Okay, John and Bill, here you go. You ready? I know you're chomping at the bit for this one.
Yeah.
Now that we've seen the women go and the men go in the deadlift workout, should the women's weight be raised or the men's weight have been lowered?
On the deadlift?
For me personally, I would rather if you're giving me those two choices, I would rather the women's weight be raised.
Agreed.
That was supposed to be the strength test. They know you're reading the comments when you lean in like that.
Well, someone says Dallin and Pepper is the 2025 CrossFit champ, and I can't disagree with either of those. That's my boy. He's always commenting on my YouTube videos. But
raise the women's weights to make it even.
I'd go 275.
Yep.
And yes, way more women would get time capped that way, but I would rather the workout stimulus be the same than worry if they finish at the same time or how many finish and what way.
There were a lot of men that didn't finish, so that you should have, if it's the right stimulus, then you should have the same amount of women also not finishing.
And then we may have gotten Kyra Milligan in third. She was only 7 points behind Lydia, who made the podium, and we may have gotten Fee Sagafi in first.
I don't think we could speculate on what didn't happen, but we got to go live for another one in 20 minutes, Sevon. Do you want to hop off here and then go back again?
Sure. Dallin, great to see you. Welcome
to
to join us for the next for the men's heat if you're around.
I'm gonna drive home. It's got a 6-hour drive coming, so I'm gonna head out.
All right, dude. Thanks for making your presence known. Always
Absolutely.
good to see you.
Later, guys.
Okay, guys, we will see you guys in 20 minutes. John Young from J. White Barbell. Dallin Pepper, second fittest man in the world. Bill Grundler, CrossFit Inferno. He's the man. If you're ever in slow, swing by the gym. One of the originals. Thank you, Will Brandstetter. We'll see all you guys in 20 minutes. Souza, Caleb, Pedro, Rios. Bye-bye.